So for our next project, we're going to be reproducing a prehistoric vessel using the coil method and a slab for a base. We're going to be applying decorative stencils along with some slip or underglaze and sprigs. So sprig molds are also called applied low relief. And what you're going to do is search for some interesting items in your house. They could be anything. Preferably something with meaning, but we can use it decoratively. It doesn't have to have any meaning. And you're going to get a piece of clay that's at least 2 to 3 times larger than your object. You're going to flatten out the top section and the bottom just to make it nice and level, just by gently tapping it on a flat surface. And then you're going to embed that object halfway into the clay, and we're going to let it air dry for the week. So make sure not to cover these with plastic. These have to air dry. Okay, and then you're going to carefully pull out that object so that we just have the impression in the clay. When this becomes bone dry, like your slab box or anything else that's left out for 24 hours, then you can take a soft piece of clay that's, big enough to kind of fill in that space. And this clay does have to be wedged. If you have air bubbles, it will explode. So this is a nice low relief. That's about 1/4 of an inch in height. If your object is round and has another round surface here, you can't really embed this surface into clay or it won't release. So you can kind of, make a sprig mold of this half of it going this way, but you can't embed it up to here or else it won't release. Okay, so here's an example of a pumpkin sprig. So I'd like for you to pick some objects that are recognizable, that you can tell what they are once they're complete. So this isn't really a good sprig because we can't tell what it is. So pick something fun from home and bring those objects in on Wednesday and make a few of these, okay? And then once it's dry, I'll have to pull out an example. Once it's dry, you'll then take soft clay and you'll press it into the form. You'll wire off all the extra. You'll use your wire to kind of take off all the extra that sticks out. And then we'll score and slip those. Scoring means to use your pin tool or another kind of edge that scratches the clay and exposes the softer clay underneath. And when these become leather hard, then you can apply them by scoring and slipping onto your pot. If you do it when you pull out, your little mold, your sprig from the mold right away, and you start to press the soft clay, it'll deform it and you lose a lot of detail. So just put it in the under the heat lamps in that little heat box in the corner to let them stiffen up and become leather hard, okay? And what I would do is impress this into my dry sprig mold, cut off the extra, take a thin sheet of plastic and cover the back side of it so that that doesn't dry, and just kind of let it dry this way, with the texture, so that this remains wet and you can then easily apply it onto your wet pot. So let's start the construction of the large prehistoric vessel.